Incline walking on a treadmill. This is a really simple warm-up that you can do in any gym. All you've got to do is get yourself on the treadmill, turn it on, set the incline to at least 2.5, and then you want to be at a brisk walk pace. So this is normally above level 6 or 7 depending on your stride length.
Dumbbell curtsy lunge. With this exercise, what we're looking to do is trying to work the side of our bums. So the whole key point of this exercise is we're stepping back diagonally. What we're going to do with a nice strong upright position, we're going to keep our chest nice and high, step back diagonally, come down really slowly and bend into that front leg, bringing our front leg forward like so.
The following 5 exercises can be seen as a bit of a gym pick a mix, which basically means you can choose what exercise you like depending on your gym ability. This doesn't mean that the exercises are necessarily better, it just means the execution is slightly harder depending on the one you choose.
Dumbbell Romanian deadlifts. This exercise looks to challenge your glutes and your hamstrings in the movement, with our prime mover being the glutes for this one. With your feet like train tracks out in front of you, I want you to squeeze those oranges underneath your armpits as best as you can, holding the dumbbells nice and tight. As I say, the mover of this movement is your hips. From this position, squeeze your hips so we're up nice and tall. We squeeze those oranges underneath our armpits, and what I want you to think about doing is shaving your legs as far as you can go down, and then you're going to bring your hips back through to help bring the dumbbells back to that top position. So we're shaving our legs all the way down as we can, pulling your hips back through as best as you can. B stance Romanian deadlifts. This exercise looks to challenge your glutes and hamstrings one leg at a time. Similarly to Romanian deadlifts, we're looking at shaving the legs and pushing the hips back as far as we can. With this exercise, what I want you to do is put one foot in front of the other. Make sure to straighten out your leg completely. If that means locking your knee slightly, that's absolutely fine. With the other leg, we have a slight bend in the knee, okay, to allow the hips to move back. From this position, we're squeezing those oranges underneath our armpits once again. What you're gonna do, descend nice and slowly, pushing the hips back, come as low as you can, and then bring the hips back through. So it's down nice and slowly, shaving the legs, driving back up. Trap bar, floating deadlifts. With this movement, we're looking to challenge our glutes and our hamstrings as much as humanly possible. What we're gonna do is for the first rep, we're gonna start at the bottom, but then we're not gonna touch the floor. To start the rep off, what I want you to do, push your hips back as far as you can, push them back to the wall behind, then collapse your knees like an accordion to the ground, hold onto the handles on the trap bar, pull your shoulder blades back and down, and push away on the plate that you're standing on. From this position, we're not going to the ground again. Push your hips back as far as you can go, push, 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 pause at the bottom of the movement, and then drive back up again. So it's push the hips back, have nice soft knees as we come down, pause at the bottom, drive our hips through. Dumbbell calves glute bridges. This exercise looks to challenge the glutes in their top position. So unlike a hip thrust, when we come all the way down to the bottom, with a calves glute bridge, we're trying to keep tension on the glutes throughout the entirety of the movement, making sure we stay in this top part of the movement as best we can. To set up for this exercise, stick your shoulder blades on the bench so then we're hooking them over and getting in a nice stable position. Bring your feet in nice and close and grab your dumbbell off the floor. Place the dumbbell across your hips as long as it's nice and comfortable. From this position, what you're gonna do, drive your hips to the sky. We're gonna get you to your starting position. From here, what you're gonna do is drop your hips about halfway down from what you'd normally do for a hip thrust, drive up to the sky and come back down to that halfway position. Barbell calves glute bridges. This exercise is not the same as a hip thrust. However, the setup is pretty damn similar. What we're gonna do to start with is I like to put plates underneath my actual barbell to make it easier for me to get underneath the bar. What you're gonna do, roll back the bar so then we're resting our back on the bench behind us. What you're gonna do now, get your shoulder blades and hook them over the bench so we're nice and comfortable. Drag the barbell into your stomach and bring your feet in nice and close. From this position, we're gonna get you to your starting position. Drive up to the sky, hold it in place to start with. From here, drop your hips about halfway down from where you'd normally do a hip thrust and drive your hips to the sky. What we're doing here is working the top range of our glutes. We're keeping tension in the glutes at all times, trying to drive to the sky as best we can, doing almost pulsar reps at this point in time. This is a great glute exercise for you to try out on your next bum workout. Glute Focused Step Downs. With this exercise, what we're looking to do is try and drive our hips back as far as we can and work the glutes as hard as humanly possible. We're going to do this on either leg, so take your time and focus on the movement. To start this movement, get yourself a bench and line it up next to something that you can hold on to. I like to use a squat rack for this reason, but if it's in a busy gym, try and find whatever you can. From this position, you're going to grab onto the structure with one hand whilst holding a dumbbell in the other. So from this position, we look to step back, driving the left side of our body back, leaning forward as we do so, and driving back up. The only way you're going to feel more wham than you do right now is subscribing for weekly uploads.